over, and you're sitting in the dark, bro. Turn that light on. The light's on. All right.
I don't know what we're talking about, what we're doing, so.
You're live, bro. That's what you're doing. Slide over where we can see you, bro. You see the camera. Hey, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry for the rough start. Still getting used to getting set up here. Just mic check real quick. Make sure we're solid on everything. But welcome to the King's Corner podcast, EKMS King's Corner. So we're going to be doing this now every Tuesday is the game plan. I told you if you tuned in last week on Tuesday that we were going to start being on top of this and making sure that we actually were on here on Tuesday nights. So that's what we're going to do. So we've actually dubbed it the King's Corner. Get a flashy video eventually at the beginning. Brian, aka our honorable king, most likely will help us out with that, or we'll be finding somebody that can help us out, be a little savvy with it. But yeah, so I'm joined here live by two of my bros. I think you saw a kill switch last week. This week we actually have U-turn with us too. So we're gonna jump right into it in the King's Corner. You never know what you're gonna get. We're gonna talk about all kinds of stuff. We'll take some suggestions from live chat. We will take suggestions from messages that have been submitted over to us through our contact submission on our website, eternalkingsms.com. You can also email us at nationalcontact@eternalkingsms.com, or you can text us at 602-753-8059. So those are ways you can get in contact with us. If you want to talk about something in the King's Corner, you want us to talk about something in the King's Corner, feel free to message us that information. Turn this camera a little bit here. But yeah, so today what I want to talk about is it's actually our travel week. So one of our runs that we do every year is our annual, and we do it a little bit different. So when we talk about a little bit of travel here, so essentially we do our annual, unlike I know last week, if you tuned in, we were set up where we founded March 2019. And unlike most organizations, obviously we do celebrate our annual locally, have a little celebration around that time, the camaraderie. But we actually do an annual trip once per year in honor of that annual. And it's an all Kings trip that we do. We've been several places on that. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. So this time we're actually going up to Mariposa, California, down there or up there by Yosemite in California, by Yosemite National Park. And we're going to be checking that out. So I don't know if you're familiar with Yosemite. I've never actually been to Yosemite before. I don't know if they've ever been to Yosemite before either. But yeah, it's an interesting way, like our MDRs, to check things out every year as Kings. So we stagger our trips. We do Eternal Kings trip, then Eternal Queens trip, then Eternal Kings trip, where and the Kings trips are just Kings. The Queens trips are EK and EQ combined, and they have their own Eternal Queens trips. But the annual is all about, our bros. Anyone in the nation will go and meet us at the selected location, and we'll just party it up for 4 or 5 days, celebrate the wins and losses, and stay connected with our bros across the nation or wherever they may be located. And it's basically us, and then invite only by any guests that we invite, or things like that. So this year it's Mariposa, California, about 650, 700 miles altogether. So not a crazy long ride, not our longest by far.
Nope.
But should be a good time. So as we're talking about the annual and runs, I want to kind of open up the floor and talk to some of these bros here. Start off with U-turn. Kind of open up with him and see what's been like one of the funnest trips that he's had with Eternal Kings. So we'll talk about that. What's if you had to talk about your trips, man, like what's a fond memory or something, like one of your funnest trips that you've actually had with being a King?
Man, I would have to go ahead and say probably one of my first rides that I ended up going cross country a lot.
Slide over a little bit.
My bad. Trying to cut myself out. So probably it would be like when me and my VP at the time, Bush, ended up taking off from Bellevue, Nebraska, all the way over here to Phoenix, Arizona. And that was one of my that was honestly a really fun ride, to go ahead and go about it. Ended up doing 1,000 miles day one, and I'll tell you what, that was the first time I actually felt like where my legs didn't want to come off my bike, and I just wanted to keep on going. Ended up having to circle the parking lot a few more times just to go ahead and get a little bit of bearings. But Bush ended up routing everything out, and we ended up taking a massive scenic route instead of just staying on massive highways. Ended up, yeah. So it was a fun trip. So I got to go ahead and cross a lot of canyons throughout that, and just the scenery off of it was just amazing. And then another ride that we ended up doing was when we were visiting Tucson to go ahead and see, well, now Saint now, but at the time he was known as Squire. All right. But seeing his journey throughout the process off of that as well too. But annual wise as well, seeing the brothers over in Colorado Springs, Colorado, even though that was a quick turnaround trip for me as well too. There's way too many rides, to be honest with you, to go ahead and just be able to pinpoint one. All the memories that are there are just great memories.
Definitely some fun ones for sure. And we can talk about one memory, man. Like, I'll bring it back. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. One memory we could talk about is, and Killswitch already knows it's coming. He already knows it's happening, right? So, for those of you that don't know, Killswitch, this man, when he started riding with us, well, let's just say he didn't know much about riding.
I was a weekend rider.
Definitely a weekend rider. And I told him when he first joined or started riding with us and stuff like that, that the plan was to actually put up some major miles, right? Oh. So he starts out and he's going through the motions of becoming right when he's about to meet us, he ends up wrecking his bike. The day that he's supposed to meet us, kind of a meet and greet, get a phone call, him and his lady, laid the bike down or whatever. And I'm like, gosh, crap, this ain't gonna be good, and I'm hoping he's okay, because I haven't even met the cat, but I'm like, man, dude, that's messed up. But I mean, he called right away, was like, man, I definitely messed up.
First call I made, actually.
Yeah, first call he made. And so anyway, so it's interesting out the gate, but we had him, we drug him through the mud. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, this cat right here, we tried to make him quit. He was on a rental bike, running up to Winslow, Arizona. And I remember that was hilarious because as he's on this rental bike, it's a street glide, right?
Yep.
So he's on a street glide.
Never been on a street glide at that point.
Never been on a street glide before. And I look back and I'm like, wrong side of the road going through this turn, And I remember thinking, man, like this guy's got to get it together. Like he's not going to do well. He doesn't figure this out. And I'm like, telling him like, dude, you've got to stay on your side of the road. You've got to twist the throttle, dig into the corner, like when in doubt, throttle out. Like I'm trying to give him tips, right?
Yeah.
And so anyways, fast forward.
I could write a manual on all the tips.
Right. So fast forward, he ends up actually, crossing over, right? Becomes a king. And when he crosses over and becomes a king, where we called him tap out at first, that was kind of his first name. He's like the man of many, many names. We called him Tap Out. So we take this run. Where were we coming from on this run? The one that I'm talking about, because you already know where I'm going.
You, me, and Anthony, former member, rode up to Bellevue, Nebraska to visit him, Bush, and we were coming back, and we had gotten to Albuquerque, New Mexico. We were leaving the next morning, and you and Anthony were up front, and I was behind you guys.
Formerly known as V-Dub, guys, just so you know, for those of you that know who V-Dub is.
And I don't remember what the name of the road was on, but like we were cruising, and I'd gotten into a zone where I was like comfortable. I was just chilling, and we were going, and we come up to, and I'm clicking 65, 70, and all of a sudden I see Anthony just brake check and like way almost stop in this curve, and I'm like, oh shit, 35 mile an hour. And I'm like, I start like downshifting and hitting the brakes, and he sees me coming, and he just takes off. And I end up, thankfully, side of the road is like gravel and grass, and I kind of went off the side of the road.
Meanwhile, I'm up front, and
he's like a half mile down the road.
We broke loose a little bit to hit some of the corners and stuff like that because we knew he was inexperienced. So we break loose and signal to break loose and to ride the ride, and I'm up. I stop at this gas station. I'm like, what's taking them so long? Why are they not here? And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Killswitch, Tap Out at the time, he comes up to the gas station. We're at a Maverick. I remember the name of the gas station was a Maverick. So we pull in, and I see him, and he's got grass all on the other side of his bike hanging off.
And I want to clarify too.
Yeah.
The ride I had at the time that was my bike, I'd gotten it back after the original accident he discussed, was a 2020 Harley Davidson Softail Slim with no creature comforts, no extras.
Yeah, no cruise control,
Yeah.
no nothing. I mean,
The
this guy's
seat-
riding a base model bike.
You talk about a stock seat. This was like a half an inch up of a stock seat. Like it wasn't even the next level.
Well, I'm not sure I know what the seat has to do with him going off the side of the road, but we'll maybe get to that. Moral of the story is he comes rolling up and he's smiling and he's got like this big grin. I'm like, dude, what happened, man? Why do you got all this grass on your bike? And he's like, man, I went off the side of the road, but I kept it up. And he's like, I hit the kill switch. And I'm like, looking at him like, you're happy about going off the side. I mean, I get that you're happy about being alive.
Yeah.
Right?
That was my
You're
that
happy
was-
about being
I'm happy
alive.
I didn't crash.
You're happy about that. But I'm like, yo, like Dudley, you just ran off the side of the road, man. Like the grass is hanging off the side of the bikes. And I immediately thought about wild hogs. And I'm like, man, this is so not good for us as an organization, especially a young organization, you know, stuff like that. I mean, I'm like, man, and we just embraced it. You know, we embraced it. We were like, man, it is what it is. And, you know, we gave him so much crap. We started calling him Dudley for a little while, stuff like that, just totally messing with him. And his name ended up becoming Kill Switch, as you could tell, because obviously he hit the kill switch, cut all power to the bike when he's off the side of the road, basically took away his last chance of digging himself out of this. And by some miracle, he made it through it. But yeah, that was an interesting thing, man. But yeah, I'll cut to Kill Switch and ask him. I mean, aside from that,
Yeah.
aside from that one, what's your favorite? What's your
Memorable
favorite?
ride, memorable rides. This is definitely, you know, number one on the list. But favorite rides, like I'm kind of with you, Turn, in the aspect of like King's rides, no matter where they've been, Tombstone, Tucson, El Paso, LA, like they're all up there. But I'll be honest. I mean, I think my favorite one recently, honestly, is probably Knott's Berry Farms or Laughlin, Nevada.
Okay.
Because a lot of it being the conversations that you and I had afterwards, like you told the story about me and my weekend rider style riding beginning out, and now like I'm doing 80, 85 bar to bar with you in curves.
Right. Yeah, you've come a long way for sure.
And so like
putting up lots of miles, guys, by the way. He actually did win one of our actually he tied me for one of the years for mileage, and then he won a standalone year for mileage as well. And mind you, just to put it out there, I mean, we're probably on average, I think a low person is doing 13,000 a year. And that's just King's trips. That's not, we do not calculate. I just want to be clear on this. We're not calculating if you go to your job with your bike. Like I can care less if you go to your job with your bike. We're talking about road miles, you know, going out to Mexico, going out to this place, that place, you know, with your brothers. So, I mean, on average, probably 13,000, I'd say like is like I would say a pretty good average.
Yeah. I won the 2023 mileage award. You and I tied for 2024. And I think we calculated.
I think you put up what, 21,000 or something like that in 23,
like,
22,000?
I put like 21,000 miles on my bike. You and I both did. So the two of us, like 42,000 miles between the two of us.
Yeah, I did 21,000 in 9 months on my 22 road glide. And that thing was so comfortable until I let ego get the best of me. But thanks to Anthony, AK V-Dub, you know, we
ST.
Yeah, I ended up trading in for Lowrider ST. Shout out to anybody riding a Lowrider ST. Those are great bikes. But I will be honest, you know, in my opinion, the Lowrider ST is not as comfortable by far as the Road Glide. And I know you guys are probably saying, duh. Well, my ego let me get the, you know, they got the best of me, and I traded in on my Road Glide on an ST, and boy, that was a mistake. I'm back on a 24 Road Glide, proud to say.
Hey, well, if memory serves me right,
yeah,
during the our annual last year, didn't almost all the Kings end up pulling a kill switch almost?
Yeah, so yeah, so I just
want to circle back over to that.
A little different circumstance. Yeah, bit of a different circumstance, right? So when we talk about he's talking about Elko. So last year we did a Elko, Nevada run. My uncle Larry, out in Mariposa, Raymond, California, where we're going to visit Grazing Oaks Ranch, and shout out to him, of course. But we're going to go visit him and hang out there. But he had suggested like Elko, Nevada, is like a place that he was going to possibly, like, I guess, I don't know if he was moving there or thinking about it or what have you. And we got talking about it. We're like, hey, never heard of that place. Why don't we take a run there? That'd be great. We'll check that place out. So, anyways, fast forward, we planned this whole trip. We decided we're going to go out to Elko, Nevada that last year for our annual. And don't get me wrong, had a blast. We don't know if we're alive though. I mean, this live might not actually even be real. King's Corner might actually be from the grave or something. Because in reality, we probably shouldn't be here. So we were out on the road. It's a 2-lane highway, traffic going one way and the other. And we've had a couple of situations on this road, on this particular ride, actually, where someone will go to pass and you have that sketchy feeling like, are they going to get back over? Are they going to get back over? Or are they going to hit us? And, I'll signal, throw up a 1, that way we drop the signal file, try to go as far right to the edge of the shoulder as possible. If they don't get over in time, they can actually, have a little bit more room and they don't take us out. Well, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, maybe 3 or 4 of those so far, it's like the 4th one, we see this bus. It's a double-decker bus.
Yep.
I mean, this thing is huge, right? It's this big double-decker bus. And there's a diesel truck on the coming towards us on the other lane, other side of the traffic. And this double-decker bus is like right in front of us. And it's going, right? And I'm like, it's not going to get over. It's not going to get over. I'm out in front. I'm like, it's not going to get over. It's not going to get over. And I signal 1 and I'm like, oh no, it's not getting over. It's like really not getting over. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we pull towards the edge of the road. I look in my mirror and I see people like about to hit me. So I literally go off the side of the road.
Take note, and I want to say it's in your lowrider ST too.
Yeah, I'm on my lowrider ST. So I go off the side of this big road, like it's a big hill going down, and I just go off of it because I see that it's clear to go down. I'm like, it's the only way I got to get out of this, and I'm thinking I'm gonna lay the bike down for sure. So we're going down, and I hit this rock, and I remember when I hit the rock, my bike was kind of sideways, and I like hit the rock, and it like straightened me back up, right? And I sat back up, and as soon as I got straight back up, this guy comes flying by me like you didn't even know where the brakes were or something, right? He's like, I'm not allowed to throttle out. Right. I'm not allowed to hit the kill switch. Spaz said no more kill switch. So he's still throttling, right? Going off the side of the road and blows past me.
Mind you, like I saw you go down, I saw traffic, and I'm like, oh shit, this is the end of kill switch. I come off. I literally felt when I went dip down, I felt my rear tire. It felt like it came off the ground as I hit that bottom and flattened out. And I saw you stop, and I'm like, don't hit my bro, don't hit my bro, don't hit my bro. And I'm just fucking feeling like I'm on a 2-track. I went by you, and I finally came to a stop, and I remember going, I didn't hit the kill switch.
Right. That part. Well, all I know is it was an exciting moment. So I look up, I stop, right? And I look over to the side of the road. I'm like, where's my other bro? And mind you, we already went down this hill. And I look over, and because it all happened super fast, and we look up, and when I look up and I see my brother's script come out on the other side. So the bus and the diesel truck going this way, and I see script through. And then right afterwards, I see U-turn go through. And I'm like, yeah. How did that happen, right? Like, because U-turn's normally in front of the script in the riding order.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what exactly happened? So anyways, we pivot. I go get 2 of my guys to go get the bus, to go stop the bus. And these 2, U-turn and script, make it back over where we're at. They pull their bike over there. And I'm like, what happened? What was that? How did you? And script's like, I don't know, man. I just saw an opening and I took it.
It parted like the Red Sea.
He said it parted like the Red Sea. And somehow he managed to pass. As they're going through these 2 cars, the semi and the bus, the script, I guess, passed him right before they entered or something along those lines, or as they entered or something.
It's in the middle between the 2 where he ended up passing me up.
Yeah, because the bus kind of cut wide a little because they went that direction and we went this direction. So the bus didn't know what to do either. And they started to cut towards the outside edge. And that's another reason why I went off the side of the road, because they went that direction instead of signal filing. And anyways, yeah, they ended up going through. dead center, like 65, 70 miles an hour this way, and they went 65, 70 miles an hour that way, dead center between the two. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen like Top Gun and like have like Maverick and with the jets, like just turn sideways and, through a big, opening or small opening or whatever. But that's what these guys did. So we end up joking about it for a long time. And it's still to this day, it's like, man, is this like the Matrix? Did we just like survive this by accident, or did we not survive? And are we like not really even here? Right. Because we don't even know. So anyways, but as far as my favorite, I think that's probably going to be my favorite run, to be honest. I think there's so many memories that have been there. I could talk about Ensenada, running down to Ensenada. We took, the 3 down into Mexico. I think it was a 3 or the 5, one of them. And we took I think it was a 3 or the 5 from San Felipe all the way over to Ensenada. And I mean, it was such a nice ride. I mean, it was beautiful weather, beautiful country. People, I think Mexico gets a bad rap as far as what's it called, but let me tell you, when you've ridden in it, it's beautiful areas to ride through, delicious food everywhere you go. So we definitely love, going down and checking out Mexico and doing some rides down there when we
Rocky
can.
Point was fun.
Yeah, Puerto Penasco. He always still calls it Rocky Point, but I'm, that guy. Puerto Penasco, super fun place to go. Ensenada, fun place to go. Rosarito Beach, that area is pretty cool. So I mean, there's a lot of cool places to check out south of the border. I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what if I was going to talk about fun spots. So yeah, drop us a comment. Tell us, even if it's after the live has ended, drop us a comment. We'd love to hear maybe some fun spots that you guys have checked out in the motorcycle community. Maybe we'll put it on our list as places we can go check out, So drop us a comment for sure. Like, share, subscribe. That way we can, of course, have some more conversations and, laugh a bit on a Tuesday night when nothing else is really going on. But like I said, we do also D&D on Tuesday nights too. So immediately following podcasts, generally we jump out to a D&D. And, so if you're interested in that sort of thing, by all means, just shoot us a message. Earlier I mentioned 602-753-8059 is a textable number. By all means, shoot us a text. Email nationalcontact@eternalkingsms.com. Website eternalkingsms.com. Facebook, search Eternal Kings Motorcycle Society. If you're a lady in the Phoenix area or Tucson area, Sierra Vista area, any of those areas, reach out to us as well. We have a place like Eternal Queens. They're amazing. I talked to you guys a bit about them last time. They're going to Havasu this next week coming up. I think right after our annual, they're going to go celebrate their annual. And what's up, Gypsy? I see you there in the comments. They're going out there to celebrate their annual. They were founded back in 21 in March, and they're going to go out there and do their annual and celebrate that. This is their first actual coordinated annual trip, and they're going to be doing this every year as well now. So we look forward to seeing all the places they go check out. And we plan these things a year in advance. So like the annuals are where everybody can dump their money and just have a good time. We have a year to plan and save. So yeah, hopefully we can have y'all join. Let me check and see here what Gypsy's saying. Saying hi. Making saintly videos. So for those of you that don't know, thanks for the comment there. We had our squire. I think U-Turn mentioned it earlier. He's been squiring for quite some time, going through the process, trying to learn. About 8 months, if a little bit longer than I think 8 months. And he was committed to the process. He didn't give up. He just kept going. And 5'10". So just this past Saturday, he actually made it, man. His name is Saint, so he earned his name. So if you see him out on the road in Tucson, by all means, walk up, tell him what's up. And yeah, we're about to start doing our fundraising. So any help is appreciated there. We have a lofty goal of helping 25 kids this year. And we from now through the end of the year. So, I mean, we're talking any birthdays, Christmas, Ramadan, Kwanzaa, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, religious or non-religious holidays, things like that. Anything of the sort, drop us a line. Tell us what you need help with. The contact card submission is on there. Pretty simple process. We help it on a first come, first serve basis based on how like much resource we have. So the more we raise, the more we can actually give directly back, of course. All the money goes directly to our programs and program operating expenses, which is pretty awesome. None of us are paid. We actually, put up money to belong to the organization monthly in the form of dues and also in the form of donations. So pretty cool there. But yeah, anyways, thanks for tuning in on this Tuesday, the 13th. We will be checking out your video, Gypsy, that you're going to be posting for Saints. So we appreciate you doing that. Gypsy's our national treasure. So if you see pictures online, we call her the national treasure of Eternal Queens because a lot of what she's doing is taking pictures and videos and stuff like that and posting them for us and giving them to us so we can post them. So thank you, big shout out for making that possible. But yeah. By all means, thank you for joining us on the in the King's Corner, Tuesday 5:13, and we'll go ahead and sign off. See you next time around this time, Tuesday next week.